Welcome back, Pregame Podcast people. I'm your host, Jackson Galt, here with
Jake Bortel. What's up, guys? Now, Jackson, what day is it today?
It's Misery Monday.
No, it's Monday, right?
No, it's Misery Monday.
It's Victory Monday for my Dallas Cowboys again. Now, I told you last week, Jack, I said we're going to L.A. and we're going to beat the Rams, didn't I?
Yep.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
Yep. And what happened?
The Cowboys won.
Yes, they did. Very, very great by the defense. Looked very well. Now, the Rams have that saying, whose house, our house, all that kind of bull crap. And I don't care anymore. Whose house is it? It's Micah Parsons' house. He is an absolute dog.
Almost slept in the first 2 minutes of the episode. You almost swore. It was that.
I caught myself. We're okay. They didn't swear we're a PG show. You were the one we had to watch.
Anyway.
But yeah, we're back. 4-1 to start the season. Cooper Kush, 5-0, undefeated, never lost. Just letting you know that right now. He's undefeated.
Can we talk
never
about...
lost.
We're a fantasy
Undefeated, never lost.
All right, so...
Never lost.
We are a fantasy show. Let's get into the big dog of the week. Recap. So it was a tie this week between Jake and I. We had 6 right and 3 wrong each.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's either 6. I think it's 5. 5 right, 3 wrong. I don't like Christian McCaffrey. Let's just jump right into it, and we'll get into that as we go. So, first game of the week, 9:30 in London town. The Packers play the New York Giants, and who's 4-1? The New York Giants are 4-1, not just them boys. The New York Giants off to a crazy start this year. They went out and just handled the Packers. The Packers are a terrible football team. I've been saying it all year long, and they just showed you again. Danny Dimes. I mean, I'll give Brian Daboll all the credit in the world. He has really turned them around. With the mediocre quarterback, terrible wide receivers.
Their wide receivers are probably the worst in NFL history.
Not existent.
Literally, there
well,
are...
Chicago's right there, too.
Oh, yeah.
But, so the Giants, they might be legit. They have a formula to win football games. And if Saquon Barkley's healthy, they are going to be tough to beat.
He is a dog. This man gets hurt during the game. And
was questionable to return.
Yeah. And you know what questionable means to him? I'm coming back in this game, and I'm going to win it for my team.
Yep.
Comes in there, takes the Wildcat snap, gets in the end zone. Had a great week.
He had a 40-yard rush.
Yeah.
Like in one of the first plays back. He was crazy.
He's built different.
He's RB1.
Yes,
he's
for
RB1.
Sure. And it
is what for people saying that they would try and sell high on Saquon right now, you cannot do that.
No.
If you have the RB1, your chances of winning a fantasy championship rise significantly with him. So you need to keep Saquon Barkley if you have him to give yourself a chance at the championship. Then,
for sure.
Also, go through the rest of it. Darius Slayton had a solid day. He had 6 for 79. He might be a decent streaming option. I think a lot of their guys should be back next week at receiver. Wan'Dale Robinson, Kadarius Toney. So that might just be a one-off. We'll see. Aaron Rodgers blew the game. The last 2 plays, he throws the ball, dunked on. The second time, has a guy wide open, dunked down. Aaron Rodgers stinks. This Packers team stinks. They're not getting the ball to their best players. Their best players including Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones got 10 carries and he only had like 3 or 4 catches. He needs more opportunities, especially in a game where they were leading the whole... They were up by 2 scores at one point, and they didn't rely on the running game, and that just led the Giants to come back.
So, now, remember week 1, when they lost very badly to the Vikings.
Yeah.
And it wasn't kind of comparable to this, but in the sense it was because Rodgers and them they got away from the run. They got away from the run this week. And so if you're an Aaron Jones owner, you're upset after this week with his performance. But I think next week is a bounce-back week for him. I'm not sure who they go up against, but I know...
We'll get into it later this week.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I think it's a bounce-back week for Aaron Jones, and I think he has a monster game next week for those running backs.
They need to get their best guys the ball. You know who the top receiving option was?
Who?
Randall Cobb. He's so old. He's not a good player.
No.
But they're forcing him the ball. He had 7 catches for 99 yards. And that's not what good teams do. This might be a bold take. This Packers offense is closer to the Giants offense than it is to the Chiefs offense, where they can sling the ball all over the place and not have to worry about the run game and everything. The run game should come along naturally. When the Packers, they have to live through the run game.
Yes.
They don't have the receiving options to do so. I mean, you can say the same thing about the Chiefs, but they make it work because they have Kelsey.
Yes.
And they only need one other guy to play well. The Packers need to live through the run game, and they just haven't even realized it yet.
What they need to start doing is doing these little screen passes or have the receivers like Aaron Jones and Dylan
line them at the spot.
Exactly. Have them do little dink and dunk passes that gives your playmakers the ball who are explosive.
Aaron Jones is a top 10 running back in the NFL.
For sure.
So they need to get him the ball. And I think that they'll figure it out soon. But, man, they need to figure that out quick because they are not good. Their defense hasn't been as good as we thought it was. The whole entire offense isn't as good. I mean, I didn't go in with high expectations for this team, and they're showing why.
Yeah. I picked, I think I would have picked the Vikings to win the division. I think a lot of people did. Too.
And Vikings have played well. We'll get into that game later. But Lazard got in the end zone, and Romeo Doubs did absolutely nothing. So they just need the running backs to turn it up.
I agree. I think that next week's going to be a big running week, like we said.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to transition. We're going to go to the Bills Steelers game. I don't know. Stellers. Because they hold L's. Yeah. Trust me. All right. So Bills, Josh Allen, right now, MVP. Mark it down.
He's a man.
He had 424 passing yards yesterday, 4 touchdowns.
Do you know how many of that was in the first half? This man had 348 passing yards in the first half. Woo! One of the first plays of the day. Woo! 98-yard bomb to Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis, get into him. So let me finish my
I'm sorry,
no, you're good. Josh Allen had 4 touchdowns yesterday for 39 fantasy points. He is an absolute dog. QB1 for sure. Gabe Davis, like we were talking about, 3. Listen to this stat line: 3 receptions for 171 yards and 2 tuds. Like, that is unbelievable.
Is a Randy Moss.
Yes. He just had, for 32 fantasy points. That is a great, great stat line. And then you can't even forget Diggs. 8 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown. 24 fantasy points. Great week by them. If you have any of the Bills on your team, you're going crazy. Especially if you have Josh Allen in one of his top 2 targets.
Oh, yeah.
You're living on cloud 9. Now let's get to the Steelers. Pickens, 14 points. He's probably going to be a good play this next few weeks coming up because the bye weeks. Muth did nothing, got hurt. I'm going to say it right now. Steelers are dead.
I'm with you.
Let's have a moment of silence for the Steelers.
Rest in peace.
Moment has passed. Yeah. Dead. Right here.
Yeah.
D-E-A-D. Dead. We're gonna have that up.
Oh, okay.
Put that over when we're done.
Yeah. Deontay Johnson had a terrible day. If you can still move him for the name value, you do it. Which,
for sure.
Low pup of the week. Good pick there.
Oh, also, I think like I think you said it last week, or we talked about it. Me and you did. If you have Najee Harris on your team, sell him now.
I don't even know what you can get for Najee.
I don't either, but if you can get, if it's like we said, name value.
Yeah.
His name's high.
I would try my darndest to get Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yes.
I would try so hard.
You just kind of say, hey,
like
he's up for trade. Send me values, and I'll consider what we're talking about. But
if you went from Najee being a first-round pick, you cannot start him.
No, not at all. And if you have guys like Breece Hall on your team, and everyone who are on your bench, kind of like if you haven't been needing to start him, you have to put Breece Hall in that lineup now, who is an absolute dog.
We'll get to that
game when I'm excited to talk about it.
So let's go ahead. We're going to talk about the Chargers-Browns. This was a super close game. Really weird game. You know, you figure the Chargers getting 30 points. You think Herbert has a good day. Herbert only had 15 fantasy points from me. He had 1 touchdown on the day.
Could have been 2. That catch that Mike Williams had.
It was right there.
And the thing is, they talk about 2 feet. Some guys get 2 like toes in the and then they call that a catch, but he has 2 and then he lands his foot. I mean,
I thought it was really close.
I did too. I think he had I think if they have possession, they go like this and they finish like this. I think that's a catch. And if he would have fell out of bounds with just his toe taps in, that's a catch. But he ended with his foot on the ground. That's what really sucks. I thought it was a great catch.
Oh yeah,
unbelievable catch. But it just sucks he didn't get his other foot in bounds. So
absolutely. But the reason Herbert didn't have such a great day was Austin Eckler. Man, is he back! Back with a vengeance. Austin Eckler, 173 yards rushing today. Woo! A lot of that came on a 75-yard run. Or it might have been I think it was 79 yards. Because this guy literally just ran out of gas and got tackled down at like the 1. Which, if you know anything about that, getting tackled at the 1, Breece Hall did it.
Oh
twice!
My God. Stabbed in the heart.
Breece Hall should have had like a 50-point fantasy.
He should have had 3 touchdowns yesterday.
We'll get to it. And then Eckler gets down at the 1, and then they let Josh Kelly get in. But he still had a fantastic day. He had 173, a touchdown, and 4 receptions, 26 yards, and another touchdown.
His 1 touchdown he ran in, he literally was running, and the guy grabbed his face mask, and Eckler just does a little spin move, gets out of it, and just gets in the end zone. Like, it's unbelievable, dude. He's a dog.
I don't think any of us saw this.
No.
I knew the touchdown progression was going to come his way, but this is huge. That's like 5 touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
Yes, it is.
Eckler is back, baby.
Dog.
Also, Mike Williams, without Keenan Allen, is a top 12 fantasy play. Every time Keenan Allen's out, you have to play him. He went.
Mike Williams, that is.
Yeah, who did I say?
You just said you have to play him.
Oh, yeah. You have to play Mike Williams. He had 10 catches for 134 yards, and then he should have had the touchdown as well. He has been an absolute stud. I mean, he always has those little stinker games, but throughout
I think he's his favorite target.
Oh, he is.
For sure.
Mike Williams is the number 1 wide receiver in that offense.
I know we're a fantasy show, but if you give Herbert another weapon on that team with a receiver...
They just need Keenan Allen back.
Oh, my goodness. That team is very good. The defense, get the guys healthy, and they're a lockdown defense as well.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, you can't, though, because I'm pretty sure... Isn't Bosa out for the season?
Yeah, it really sucks.
That dude's always
Still have
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, yeah.
There's no other consistent receiving options in LA. Gerald Everett had a terrible day. We had Josh Palmer. He had like 4 catches for 30 yards. The only guys you want are the big guys, and that's just how we like it in fantasy.
That's right.
So, other than that, we got the Browns. Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb had an awesome day. He had 17 for 134 and 2 touchdowns. And Kareem Hunt and Cooper Kupp both bounced back. Hunt having 15 points and Amari Cooper, went 7 for 79 and a touchdown. So really solid day for both offenses. And Njoku from now on to top 6 fantasy tight end.
I missed on that. He was my little pup of the week. I missed on that. So
next.
Still tied, so this title stays there. So we're gonna move on now. We're gonna talk about the Texans Jags. So it's kind of sucks because all these games are at once, so there's really not a nap period. But if you kind of are forced to watch this, you kind of get a little nap period.
Yeah.
You maybe turn on Red Zone, but if you don't get Red Zone,
you have to do what Lions fans did this week and just turn on Red Zone.
Just deal with something. But Pierce is the guy down there now. He is a lock as RB2 if needed, or a flex position. He had 99 yards and a touchdown. So I mean, that's the biggest takeaway from that game.
Absolutely.
Jags look bad, like they look like the Jags from a few years ago. So
I don't know what happened.
You don't know what the Jags are.
Yeah.
They are.
They showed you a
they're
lot.
A big question mark. So, I mean, that's about it I have from this game. That's not a very good game at all.
Bunch of stinkers in the Jags. James Robinson, his big dog, was terrible. Christian Kirk, a guy who's supposed to be a top 24 wide receiver, was terrible. Zay Jones, terrible. Evan Ingram had a decent day, but that's it. It was a really bad day down there. Houston receiving options. Brandon Cooks, terrible. Nico Collins, whatever. What? You can break it.
I mean, it's not really big news.
Is it just a 49ers corner?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Towards ACL.
Get better. What's his name?
I don't know anymore. Emmanuel Mosley.
All right.
Tore his ACL.
Shout out to E-Man.
Yep. Yeah, well said.
Yeah, for sure. Terrible day. You cool if we jump to the Lions?
Yeah, definitely jump to the Lions game.
I don't want to.
Okay. Why?
We're 1-3 going in. We're like, all right, if we're gonna keep the hopes alive.
Because from what I remember is Wednesday. If we can clip it, we can put it right up here.
No.
Wednesday, Jack's coming in here for Big Dog Wednesday, and going, he's my big dog. Jared Goff is a big dog. If we don't put up 50 on Patricia, man, it's a L. I don't care. Man, what's 50 minus 50? 0. That's how many points y'all scored.
Lions get skunked 29-0. A Matt Patricia-led offense put up 29 points with a third-string quarterback. And the offense didn't score! We're their side of the field 6 times! We have a 4th and 9 in field goal range, down 6. Kick the ball! We go for it completely. That was the sack. I think that was a sack fumble. I can't do it.
The pick too.
I can't do it with this team. I mean, all hope as Lions fans, and not just the team, in MCDC, Aaron Glenn, even Ben Johnson, who was so good to start the year. How do you put up a goose egg? I get it's Belichick, but you have the #1 offense in the NFL and you get a goose egg? This Patriots team is not good. It's not good, Jake. I promise. It's not a good team. And we can't score a single point. And we let up 29 to Zappy.
Jack.
With that being said, I know.
Take a deep breath. I don't blame you, Jack. I don't, buddy. I don't blame you at all. I blame your father. Your father did this to you. He said, you know what? I'm going to make my son's life terrible. I'm going to make him a Lions fan. And you know what? I'm going to do it to you. He did it to you. He's doing it to your brother right now. Yeah. I feel so bad. Cooper.
Hashtag save Cooper.
Yes. Save Cooper, please. He's running out here. You know, we're going to get him for his birthday. We're going to get him a Lions uniform. He's going to be so excited putting on his Lions helmet.
Comment what team we should make Cooper a fan of.
Yes. Anybody.
Other than that,
the Dallas Cowboys.
Other than that, big dog Josh Reynolds had a solid day with 15. Outperformed his projections. Goff, obviously terrible. He had 5 fantasy points. Horrible day. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I was so excited for him to come back. He did nothing. 4 for 15. T.J. Hockenson had 1 fantasy point. Whole offense did nothing. If you didn't have Josh Reynolds, you stunk. Even Jamal Williams did nothing. If you have the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson, big dog of the week. He had a really good day. He had 20 points. Didn't even get in the end zone. He had 161 yards rushing. Who could have saw that coming? Jacoby Myers, like I said last episode, if he plays, you play him. He's a borderline flex. Today he was a wide receiver 1. He went 7 for 111 and a touchdown. Huge day. I hate the Lions. Last take, Damian Harris. If you're owner of him, you're going in. You think that's a really good matchup.
This is going to be a huge game for him, and you think they're going to blow up and then
just run the ball.
Yeah, run the ball, and it's what we thought.
The game went exactly the script that you would hope for Damian Harris. And then Stevenson had 26 carries to Damian Harris's 4. That's serious. That's real tilting there. If you're a Harris owner, you think that you have at least a borderline flex. He's not playable until he gets shown more carries now. That was real. That was the biggest surprise to me. That was the second biggest surprise to me that week, that game.
What was the first?
How bad the Lions were. But it shouldn't have been. Let's go to a new game.
All right. Let's talk about the Bears game against the Vikings. Captain Kirk, big dog of the week. Had 200. Like I said in my notes, Captain Kirk is a DOGG. 296 passing yards with a touchdown. Also, he might be like the next, he's like Lamar Jackson. He can run, dude. A rushing touchdown yesterday from 1 yard out.
Really athletic.
Yes, very is.
So, Kirk Cousins took the snap.
Right here. I'm going to be Captain Kirk.
Okay. This is exactly what it looked like.
Go!
Just like that. Just like Lamar would.
Yep.
1 yard touchdown from Kirk Cousins looked amazing.
Was
Sorry,
great play. Cook, great week. If you're a Dalvin Cook owner, you've been waiting for a kind of week like this. 94 yards. You wish you could have got 6 more to make 100. You could have got a bonus in some leagues. But I'm just saying, he also had 2 touchdowns. Did snipe one from Jay Jets. Jay Jets should have got in.
That should have been a
But listen to this. Jay Jets, 154 yards receiving. 100 of those. When did they come, Jack?
100 yards in the first quarter. He was on pace for a 48 catch.
Oh my God.
500 yard receiving day. And 4 touchdowns. Something like that.
He is a absolute guy. Going to the Bears now. Montgomery's the only guy you can play. Everyone else blows.
Yeah, Monty had a good comeback. He had 18 fantasy points.
And that's all I have for that game. I mean, the Bears still suck.
Yeah, you don't want anything to do. They kept it competitive. That was mostly due to Vikings.
Fields running the ball a lot. So that's about it.
Yeah, but you're really happy with Jettas now.
For sure.
He is back in a big way. Wide receiver 1.
Kirk is back, and then you even got to say Dalvin Cook is a top guy now too. So.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move to the Seahawks Saints, where my big dog from 2 weeks ago, Alvin Kamara, he did what he should have done, and he blew up. Yeah, he played.
Yeah.
He had 23 fantasy points, 100 yards rushing, and then 90 receiving. Awesome day from Alvin Kamara. He's a beast. He's a must start. He's the player that you hope that he was.
Another thing is, Taysom Hill.
Yeah, that was right up next.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that then.
No, you can.
Taysom Hill is a Swiss Army knife. This guy can do anything you need, and if he's available in your league, pick him up and you can play him at your flex or your tight end position because he's listed as a tight end. He's a great ad for that week.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Taysom Hill is a must start at tight end. If Jameis Winston isn't playing. Without Winston, I think Taysom Hill is a top 3 tight end option every week.
Just because
he's inconsistent. He's inconsistent as can be, but he is so athletic. He gets the ball. I mean, you at the tight end position, you want guys that are going to get the ball. And Taysom Hill, I mean, he has 8 carries the last 2 games, and then this week he went nutty for 30+. I mean, there's nothing more you can ask for at tight end. He had, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. He had a fantastic day. You need to play him, especially if you're one of these guys. If you don't have Mark Andrews or Kelsey, I don't see any reason how you can't start Taysom Hill. Seriously. Dallas Goedert, I think, is up there too. If you're between T.J. Hawkinson, Gerald Everett,
right,
you have to go Taysom Hill just because he has so much more upside. Another big thing from this game, Rashad Penny is hurt. He has a bum ankle now. He's on crutches. They said it looks bad. So that automatically moves Kenneth Walker up a lot.
Very much. But I don't know if you have this on your notes. Another big thing that from this game that is a takeaway.
Yeah.
You have Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Chris Olave is 4 for 54 and a touch yesterday.
He had a great game.
Great game. Just the dirty hit that he took in the end zone.
There.
Yeah, thrown to the ground. And you just hope he gets back very soon. It's not like one of those long-term concussions. Yeah. I think he'll definitely be out next week. So
yeah, I think so.
Which really sucks.
The good thing is he got up and he was waving to the fans.
Yes, he was like, "Hey, I'm good." Like, it didn't have to come. The car had to come get him. It didn't look like he. I don't know. I didn't really see it, but it didn't look. Did he look like he got up wobbly and like?
No, he ran off the field and he was like pumping up the crowd.
So then that's a very good sign.
He wanted to get back in.
Yeah,
good thing they did not.
But the NFL did come in and say that if any player gets up dazed or
he literally looked lifeless for a second. After the hit,
anything like that. If they're laying on the turf for too long, the NFL says they're done for the game. It kind of is what happened to Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater banged up. The number 1 pickup this week is Kenneth Walker now. Rostered in 47% of leagues. He's a must start. He's literally a must start now.
Oh, for sure.
You saw what Penny did. Now he has no competition back there. He had 8 for 88 and a touchdown. Really good fantasy day. Obviously, you weren't playing him.
No.
But now he's an immediate RB2. Throw him in your lineups. Up next, Lockett and Metcalf. Both had really good days.
Lockett had a monster game.
Huge dimes. Absolute dimes.
Geno loves just launching the ball down the field.
I may be crazy. Geno Smith is he might be elite. Geno Smith might be elite. Another fantastic day. And the throws he makes are so incredible. I don't know what, at the age of 32, what changed for him. But, man, Geno Smith, I think he's a must-start at the quarterback position.
Do you think it's this? Let me ask you this. Do you think it's all the hype in Seattle last year was, Russ is going to cook. Russ is cooking. Maybe he got Russ out of the oven, out of the kitchen, and said, "Get out of here."
It's his kitchen.
And it's his kitchen. He's going in there, and he's whipping it up. Looked good so far.
Geno Smith is almost a must-play at quarterback. If you don't have one of the top guys, you play Geno Smith. Yes. He's been great.
And like we said, like I've been saying, 5 weeks are coming up.
Yeah.
Fantasy owners, you guys need to know that. It starts. Yes, they start next week. You guys need to know that. So if he's available, if you need him for a week, great.
You can almost have him rest of the season.
And you can have the rest of the rest of the season.
If you're a Russell Wilson owner, you're cutting Wilson for Geno.
Oh, for sure.
But also, I mean, the defense is so bad. They're going to be in all these shootouts all the time. So that's another reason you need a guy like that.
No, I agree.
But, yeah, other than Olave and Kamara, Taysom Hill, that's it from the Saints offense. No Jarvis, no Michael Thomas.
No.
All right, next game.
Next game. It's a good one. Dolphins and the Jets. Jets are all the way back. They are unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Brees Hall.
He's unbelievable.
Brees Hall, dog. 27 fantasy points, 97 yards rushing. He had 101 touchdown. Okay, great. 100 yards receiving from him.
Yeah.
Like Jack said earlier, inches away
Being a Brees
from
Hall owner was
touchdown.
the saddest. Freaking Michael Carter comes in, sneaks away 2 touchdowns
Steals 2 touchdowns, which
for no reason.
Reward
your guys,
yes,
Salah.
Exactly. Reward your guys. Come on. Like, that was just pitiful to watch.
Yeah.
But, Zach Wilson is a D-O-double-G.
Dog.
He had 210 passing yards and a rushing touchdown.
Yep.
Just 1 yard, though.
Just one.
Just like Kirk Cousins was.
His was a little better.
His was better because he kind of was muscular.
Yeah.
He kind of bullied his way in. Do you want to show him that one too, or no? Okay.
No.
That one had a good one. But yeah, Jets are back. Dolphins. Mostert is the guy. 113 yards and a touchdown. And Teddy Two Gloves got hurt that game.
You can say it.
I don't know what was I saying.
Oh, how their receivers do, Jake.
Oh, the receivers did absolutely terrible. Jack's big dogs of the week, our little
Little pup.
pups of the week.
Who's my little pup?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill stinks. I told you they had a backup quarterback, then the backup got hurt, so the backup to the backup had to come in. Tyreek Hill had 11 fantasy points coming in as the wide receiver 3. Fantastic pick by yours truly.
Don't sleep on third string quarterbacks. And you should know that from being a Lions fan.
If I seem a little off today, I'm still recovering.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm happy as can be.
Get to Most. You talk about Most.
Yeah, Mostert's the guy. So
yeah,
that's
Most.
about it.
Edmonds is cuttable.
Yep. See ya.
Bye. Mostert got all the stinking carries. Where did this come from? Why didn't he do this when he was on my team? I cut him, then the next week he becomes the obvious RB1. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Then someone pays like all their fab to get him back. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll just play Tony Pollard. Which Pollard was good, so I'm not even going to...
Well, we'll get into that. Don't you worry.
Let's talk about Falcons Bucks. Playoff Lenny. It's not the playoffs. Does he know? I don't think he knows.
Probably not.
I don't think he knows. He had a fantastic 36-point fantasy day. He had 56 yards rushing and a touchdown. You're like, oh, he stinks. What are you talking about? 10 catches for 83 yards and another touchdown. Playoff Lenny, we said it. Guys, listen to the podcast and do what we're saying. We told you, buy low on Playoff Lenny. What has he done the last 2 weeks? He's been great. You need to listen. Playoff Lenny been awesome. Chris Godwin came back. He went 6 for 60. We like that. He's coming back. He's going to continue to develop into this offense. Mike Evans got banged up. We'll have to monitor that this week.
Look into that a
Big
lot.
dog of the week, Mike Evans.
I'm not sure if he came back into the game. I don't remember. I think we were both working for that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to keep your eye on for sure.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated throughout the week. But he went 4 for 81. He did not have a big dog week like Jay said.
No.
Sucks. From the Falcons, Tyler Algier stinks. And then Drake London, I think, is a fantastic buy low. Guy has a ton of the target.
Very nice guy. I met him actually. Very nice guy.
We'll throw it up right here.
Yep.
Shout out Drake.
Picture. We'll put the picture of me and him out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Very nice guy.
Shout out Drake. He has a ton of the target share, and they haven't even been passing that much. I think that's going to continue to go up. He's going to be a good play for you. And the owner of him, after 2 dud weeks in a row, might be willing to move off.
And the Falcons should have won that game, by the way. That Brady, we know you might get divorced from your wife. I don't think you go right at that. I think you take a little break, buddy. I don't think you go right to sleeping with the refs. I mean, jeez.
The roughing the passer
Dude,
call was
my.
egregious.
Terrible.
Yeah. Terrible call. Falcons didn't deserve the win because they have Kyle Pitts on their team, and Kyle Pitts stinks. So, all right, next game, go ahead. We hate Kyle Pitts.
Tennessee, Washington.
Which, guys, Kyle Pitts is going to be off my team this week. I promise. I'm making the move. I'll put it up here when I'm done with it.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done. I really don't like Kyle.
We're done.
Moving
on.
Kyle Pitts is I hate him almost as much as I hate the Lions.
Okay, moving on. Talking about Tennessee, Washington.
Awesome game.
Jack, let me ask
Why
you.
do we give you all the good games this week?
Jack, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Vermont, what was the weather this week?
It was snowing. I sent it in the group chat. Vermont was snowing.
So, okay, so this whole week, where is Henry probably was at practice, but his soul wasn't. His soul was in Vermont.
I'm the Eddie. I'm the Eddie. It's Yeti time.
Derrick Henry is the Yeti for sure.
I told you.
102
Everyone
yards.
thought I was kidding. Oh, you're an idiot, Jack. When it snows in Vermont, man, that's so stupid. Guess what? It snowed in Vermont. What did Derrick Henry do?
102 yards rushing and 2 tutties.
He's the Yeti. I'm Washington too.
Washington, I had my notes right here, Jack. It says, Washington blows. That's it.
Yeah, Terry
That's the
McLaurin didn't do what we thought he would.
And,
He had 12 fantasy points.
Your dad keeps texting us this week. Oh, trust me, Wentz is going to go crazy this week. Wentz is going to go crazy. McLaurin's going to go crazy, man.
They stink.
They stink. They stink. Terrible.
Don't play him.
Don't play them. Get rid of them.
Up next, I got the 49ers, Panthers. I was wrong, my little pup. CMC went nutty. He had a fantastic fantasy day.
You're wrong with your big pup, too. Kittle really didn't do much either.
Okay. George Kittle, he was mediocre. He was, compared to the rest of the tight ends, he was good, but that's a miss. He only had 9.7. That's not what I was projecting at all. It's a miss.
I think you said he was going to be a tight end 1 this week?
All right, next. Matt Rule, coach of the Carolina Panthers, is no longer the
Gone.
coach.
See ya.
Let's have a moment of silence for
I
Matt
think we already
Rule.
did.
Not for Matt Rule.
Who do we have it for?
Did we have it for Matt Rule? For the Stillers.
Oh, yeah.
Still Ellers.
Still.
Moment of silence for Matt Rule.
Came in, was probably one of the biggest winning coach in Baylor history. Said, we're going to give you a 6-year contract with the
6 years!
6 years. Man.
For nothing.
Nothing. You're going to do great.
Hey, at least he brought Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield there.
Brought Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. Then you bring in Baker Mayfield, who's getting hated by Cleveland like usual. You lose to Cleveland week 1. Cleveland sucks still, though. Then you lose again.
Okay.
Then again. Then again.
What?
What? Then you lose this last game, and then they go, Panthers go, get him out of time. Thank you,
right.
Coach Matt Rule.
Thank you, Matt Rule.
Thank you, Coach.
For nothing. Baker Mayfield has a boot on. Huge news. I know everyone was writing on Baker Mayfield in fantasy. George Kittle had a mediocre day. And, Jeff Wilson and Tevin Coleman both had great fantasy days. Which, I didn't even know Tevin Coleman was still in the league. Did you know that?
No.
He had 2 touchdowns yesterday. Tevin Coleman. If the 49ers are going to do anything, they're going to make the most obscure running back RB1.
Yes.
So, both of them had a great day. Do not pick up Tevin Coleman.
No, do not, just because he had one good game. Dab, you can. Next. Oh, it's a good one. Jack, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys and the LA Rams. Now, let me tell you this. Tony Pollard, he is a lock it in and forget it at your flex. 86 yards yesterday, and a touchdown. Dallas's defense is full of dogs.
Dogs.
If you have their defense, They're probably number one or close to top defense in the
They're
league.
up there. They've been awesome. I have them.
And like I've been saying, Cooper Rush, 5-0.
We're doing this again.
Yes, we are back.
Hey, are
Next
you guys number
week.
one in your division?
Next week, we will be number one in our division. Dude, Philly's terrible. We'll get to that game in a minute. You're gonna get
5-0.
You're gonna get to it in a minute. They look terrible against the little midget.
Stop.
He had to go. He literally looked at him and go. He went up to his kicker. I guarantee you, he went up to his kicker and goes, "Hey man, can you do me a huge favor? Coach won't let me go play my video games until this game. I tried to get in at halftime, but coach said no. So
I really don't want to go.
Don't want to get into overtime. It's going to be a lot.
It's double XP weekend.
Yeah,
I need to go home.
FaZe Clan said they need me on right now. Can you please miss it? And we'll get to that game in a minute, though. But let me finish my little rant about the Dallas Cowboys. Probably one of the best teams in the NFC. NFC East.
They're one of the best teams in the NFC East.
Everyone who's saying, "Oh, NFC least," their division is terrible. Eagles 5-0, Cowboys 4-1, G-Men 4-1. We don't count the Commanders really. They're 1-4. They're terrible. But if you flip the record, they're 4-1.
Yeah.
But it's not. We don't do that.
I wish we could flip the Lions record.
Yeah, I bet you all do. But going to the Rams now. They suck. Stafford is cuttable, and he is terrible. If you drafted him, you're like, oh, I'm going to get the Matt Stafford from last year. He's going to go crazy. He's going to look great.
No.
Terrible. He sucks. Their offensive line is horrible. Only bright spot in that offense yesterday was Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
He is a dog, 125 yards receiving, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, he's a guy. Like,
Yep.
whatever.
But you know what? They still took the L. And, Jack, let me tell you this. Who went to the Super Bowl last year?
The Bengals.
Against who?
The Rams.
Rams. Now, this year, Cowboys played the Bengals, and what happened?
Cowboys play the Cowboys won.
Cowboys won. Okay. So, that's one Super Bowl team we beat. Now,
they lost.
You said the Rams.
They lost.
Okay, but yeah. So then they played the Rams this week.
Yeah.
The Rams were in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Who won the Cowboys game this week? Oh, the Cowboys did.
The Cowboys.
So they beat both Super Bowl teams. So does that make them the Super Bowl champs from last year?
No,
We'll think
that's
about
not
it.
how that
That's what I
works.
want to debate about. But we'll move on. Jack, go ahead and talk about the Eagles and the Cardinals.
I hit on the little pup Kyler Murray. He only had 19 fantasy points midday. Hollywood went out for 22 points, 8 for 78 and a touchdown. Fantastic day. And if you had anybody else in this Cardinals offense, you were not excited.
No.
Ertz only had 10 points. You'll take it, but compared to everyone else, that's good, but not really that great a day. Wasn't going to win you a week.
No.
And then nobody else did anything. Rondale Moore actually went 7 for 68. Even speaking up on Rondale Moore, he had a solid fantasy day if you played him at the flex. My biggest takeaway from the Cardinals is James Conner banged up. He's hurt.
Like we've been saying.
He was terrible to start, and then he's hurt already. So you need to monitor that. That makes Eno Benjamin the number 2 pickup. If he plays, then Eno's not usable. But if Connor's out, Eno Benjamin right into that flex spot.
For sure.
To come out of the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, still a quarterback beast in fantasy. 2 rushing touchdowns. He does it every week. Still does not have a second half touchdown.
And we're back.
So he still doesn't have a second half touchdown. And then, the other guys played well. Dallas Goedert, he went 8 for 95. Devontae Smith, 10 for 87. Solid days if you have those two. Other than that, it was a weird game. Eagles should have scored more. I don't understand how they let the Cardinals keep up with them all day.
Cardinals are kind of a sneaky team, though.
Oof.
They kept it in there with the Raiders, though.
Raiders are 1 win.
They're going to have 1 win by the end of the night, too. We'll get to that game, though, later.
Okay.
But I think they're just a sneaky team. They're an ankle biter team. They're a team that you don't think will be in the game, and then you get to that game, and they're just there until the fourth quarter, and then there's just like little things that just keep them in the game.
I thought you said kneecap biter. And
no, ankle biters.
Had an aneurysm.
No, ankle biters. They're ankle biters.
Let's move on to Sunday Night Football. Bengals Ravens. Weird game. Not very much offense. Ravens win on a last-second kick by Justin Tucker, who is
probably a dog.
He's the man.
Certified
best kicker in
Hall
NFL
of
history.
Famer, first ballot, everything.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Chase, terrible game.
12 points. What are you doing? What happened? I mean, this is a guy who's supposed to be one of the top 3 wide receivers in fantasy football.
Yes, people
He's not
took
producing.
him with one of the top 5 picks.
Well, if they did that, then that's a little silly.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
For sure.
But other than that, Duvernay, solid flex play from here on out. 13
For
points.
sure. If he's going to be in the backfield like he's been doing, he's been taking rushes. We were talking about this yesterday. Very big for him. I think they're trying to do what they had with Mark Ingram and who was the other? Was it
Kenny and Drake?
No, they had Mark
Dobbins.
And a few years ago, they had him and another running back.
Tyron Williams.
No, I don't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter. They want to get a 2-back system kind of going with Lamar so they can do the read option.
Yeah.
So the triple option actually would be. So I think they put Duvernay. They like him. He's kind of like a little Swiss Army knife. He can do whatever you need him to do.
He's a good player.
He is. Yeah. So I think he's a certified maybe lock as your flex.
I think he's flex. Solid flex.
Yeah, for sure.
I think J.K. Dobbins is a good buy low. He looked good on his carries. He just only got 8. So
yeah,
I think that he will turn it up later this year, but he looks explosive. Jamar Chase, like we said, mediocre day. T. Higgins screwed a bunch of people. Nothing saying he's going to be out this week. Then the Bengals go out, give him 10 snaps. 10 snaps. Put him on pitch count, out for the day. Goose egg in your lineup. I lose by 1 point because
you
of
kind of have
games.
That's
ridiculous.
These NFL owners
That's shady.
and coaches do not care about fantasy football, which they should. They should care. Hey,
it's bringing way more
yes.
winners. You know why the only reason people watch the Texans Jags on Sunday? They probably had guys in their fantasy teams.
Oh, for sure, yes.
Other than that, who cares? That's a terrible game.
No one's actually fans of these people. These
No.
teams. No.
Have you met a single Texans fan your entire life?
No, I actually have not.
Yeah, me
Have you
neither.
ever
They
met
don't
a Jags
exist.
fan?
No.
Me neither.
Terrible.
Terrible.
But to get back, Higgins lost a ton of people their weeks and their parlays. Terrible.
Those ones suck. Especially if everything else hits in your parlay and then that doesn't.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Known
They
from
should
experience.
actually pay back on that.
Yeah, for sure.
But a guy that didn't lose you your week and maybe won it was Mark Andrews. Fantastic day. 8 for 89 and a touchdown. He's that man. He's that guy.
He's a dog.
Yeah. So I think that wraps up everything. Monday night we got Chiefs, Raiders. Jake thinks that it's a blowout.
Blowout for sure.
I think it's really high scoring. I think it's going to be a good day for both teams. Other than that, is there anything else left, Jake?
Yeah, one thing. It's Victory Monday, Jack. Love it.
Just get it over.
Love
with.
Victory Monday.
They can't even see.
Oh, they can't see it.
No.
I'll come back there. I'll come back.
He'll literally take the whole screen. Thank you guys for watching.
Like and subscribe. Ask comments. Give us questions for Wednesday's episode. We're going to go over Big Dog's Little Pups of the Week. And we'll love to give our advice. We're going to definitely talk about who to pick up, who to kind of drop. We're going to have a stay and lay comment.
Hit and quit or
Stay
stay and
and
lay. That's all, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys Wednesday.
Peace. We did, boys.
Shut up.